Hello guys, welcome back to Java session. Today we are going to cover about static keyword, this keyword, command line arguments, and access modifiers. These are the four concepts which we are going to cover in our in this particular video. Now, sir, what is this static keyword? Where we can use this static keyword means, beta, if you are declaring any method or variable or block as static, then that is a static variable or static method or static block. Sir, what is the advantage with the static keyword means, which is used for the memory management. This is the main advantage with the static keyword. Now, sir, first we will cover one by one, like static variable, then followed by static method, then followed by static block. Now coming to the static variable, if we declare any variable as static, then that is called as a static variable. So this is one more important point. The static variable can be used to refer the common property of all objects. That in the sense, it is not unique for each object, it is common for the every object. For example, if you are taking the company name of employees, different employees will be there. So for all those employees, the company name is common. Same way, uh, students of a particular college, the college name is common, and the name of the student, roll number of the student, these are all the different, right? In these particular scenarios, we use the static variable. So basically, this static variable, it saves the memory. That is the advantage. It makes your program memory efficient. That means it saves the program, saves the memory. That is the main advantage with the static variable. Now you can see here an example. I'm taking a class. There I'm taking the two instance variables and one static variable. So I'm taking a parameterized constructor. The instance variables, whatever the instance variables are there in the class, those instance variables I am initializing within this constructor, parameterized constructor. Next, I'm taking the display method. I'm displaying roll number, name, and college name. Next, I'm taking the main method. Now I am creating two objects, S1 and S2. If you observe, I'm passing only two parameters. That is the roll number and the name I'm passing for these S1 and S2. Whenever I am calling the display method, student roll number, name, and the college name will be displayed. So the college name is a common property which is shared among the two objects. So in this scenario, we use this static variable. This is all about the static variable, guys. Now coming to the static method. So if you are declaring any method as the static method, any method with static keyword, then that is the static method, right? Static method belongs to the class rather than the object of the class. So static method can be called without the need of or without creating object a class. So basically, if you have a method, in order to call the method of a class, what we will do? We create object to the class. By using that object, we call the method of that class. But in order to call the static methods, you no need to create object. Without creating object, directly you can call the static methods, right? Static methods can access the static data member, and that can be changed. We can change the value of the data member. So that can be done by the that can be done in the static method. Now, this is an example program for the static method. Here, if you see, I'm declaring a change method as a static, and I have a variable that is the static variable. There, I'm taking the college name as a KMEC. So within the change method, I'm taking the college name as NGIT. Initially, the college is a variable which is holding KMEC as a variable name. That is the static variable. Within the static method, what I'm doing, I'm changing this KMEC to NGIT, right? This can be done in the static method. Now, next I'm taking the display method. I'm displaying the name, roll number, and college. So that can be done by using the calling that method. You can change the value of that particular variable. Now I am taking the main method. So as we studied here, this is the important point. In order to call the static methods, you don't need to create object. Here, student9 is the class. In that class, change is the method. To call the change method, what we are doing, class name dot method name. Without using the object, we are calling the static methods of the class. So if you see the output of the college name is common to all the students, right? Because we changed in the change method. This is the way of using the static methods. Now coming to the static block, right? It is used to initialize the static data members. It is executed before the main method at the time of loading the class, right? You can see here example. I'm taking a class. Within this class, I'm taking the static block, right? After that, I'm taking the static method, right? Now, I mean, if you execute this program, the static block gets executed first, followed by the uh, main method. So before main method, static block gets executed. If you want to execute something before main method, then you need to keep that particular thing in the static method, static block. So static block gets executed first, followed by the main method. Now, that is all about the static beta. Now coming to the access modifiers in Java. Basically, the access modifiers in Java specifies the scope of a data member or scope of a method or scope of a constructor or scope of a class. Sir, how many access modifiers are there? Beta, there are four: private, default, protected, and public. These are the four access modifiers. Now I'm going to explain these four access modifiers with a simple table. So here you can understand this. First, this is a column which is showing the access modifiers, right? If you are taking a private variable, let's say I'm taking integer type of a variable. If you are declaring this variable as private, so where we can access? You can access within the class only, right? Sir, can we access within the package? No. Sir, can we access outside of the package by using the subclass? No. The private variable you cannot access outside of the package by using subclass. Sir, can we access outside of the package? No. So private variable means that can be accessed to only within the class. That is all about the private variable. Sir, if it is a default, that in the sense, if you are not declaring anything, just you are taking int a, then that comes under the default. So default you can access within the class, you can access within the package, but you cannot access outside of the package by using its subclass, and you cannot access outside of the package. This is all about the default access modifier. Coming to the protected, you can, if you are declaring any variable as protected, you can access within the class, you can access within the package, you can access outside of the package by using its subclasses. Now, sir, can we access outside of the package? No, you cannot access. Sir, without any restriction, I want to access the variable wherever or outside of the class, inside of the class, outside of the package by using the subpackages. Then you need to declare it as the public. Public variable can be accessed within the class, within the package, outside of the package by subclass, outside of the package also you can access the public variables. This is all about your access modifiers beta. Now, coming to the this keyword, this is a keyword basically you can use in these following sections, right? You can use in 6 areas. This can be used to refer the current class instance variables, and by using this keyword, you can call the current class methods. By using this keyword, you can call the current class constructor. So this can be passed as an argument in the method call. This can be passed as an argument in the constructor call, and this can be used to return the current class instance from the method. These are all the different areas where we can use this keyword. Now coming to the example. Here, what I'm doing, I'm taking a class. Within the class, I'm taking the instance variables. Next, I'm taking the constructor. So to initialize the or to represent the current class variables, what we are doing, we are using the this dot roll number, this dot name, this dot fee. This is the keyword which represents the current class variables. Now I'm using the display method to display the values. So that I'm doing in the some other class by using main method, because program execution starts from main. Now we are creating object to the student class, and we are calling the display method by using those objects so that it will display the values. This is all about the this keyword beta. Now coming to the command line arguments. Sir, what is this command line arguments means? Beta, the arguments which are passed at the time of running the Java program, they are called as the command line arguments. They are passed from command prompt to main method array. They are called as a command line arguments. Sir, how many arguments we can pass? Beta, you can pass n number of arguments. So here you can see I'm taking an example. Here this is the array which holds the arguments which are passed at the time of running the Java, right? You can access those arguments by using its position. Args of 0, you will get the first element. If you're calling the args of 1, you will get the next element, and so on. Sir, we want an example on this. Of course, I will show you the example on this. Here, this is the example for the command line arguments. So 1 minute. Let me clear this. You can see here, I'm taking a class. Next, I'm taking the main method. Within the main method, I'm taking string type of args array. Now, just I'm displaying a message whenever you are executing the main method. Open the file. I'm finding the length of this array. Basically, we are not stored anything. The length of array is 0. Now, if you are printing the number of arguments you are stored in n, that number of arguments you are finding. Sir, how we are finding? By using, this is an array now. array length can be found by using the length keyword that I am doing and I am printing. So let's run this program. So I'm getting into the command prompt first. So I want to run this Java C space. First compile the code. Command line arguments dot Java. Now I am running this Java space command line arguments. Now pass the number of arguments. Let's say 4, 6, 3, 2, 7 or 27 or 7. These are the arguments which are passed from command prompt to main method array. They are called as command line arguments. So open the file, number of arguments which you are passed is 5. Let's say, sir, I don't pass anything, just I will run as usual how we are going to run the program regularly. Java space class name. Number of arguments you are passed are 0. So this is all about the command line arguments. Chalo, thank you.